Welcome one and all here to episode 1 of my new show, the RYM Charts. I don't really know what to call this, so I'll just call it RYM Chart Breakdown. It's inspired by Spectrum Pulse's Billboard Breakdown series, pretty similar. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing here. We'll begin our list with sort of the top 10, but first we'll go through some honorable of the top 10 from this week. We'll go number 1 to number 10. To begin, of course, Magdalena Bay holds on to its spot at number 1, with Charlie XCX's Brat staying pretty stably at number 2 at the moment. An album bomb did happen with Shushu's album, which I'll just refer to as Italian Stiletto, dropping at number 3. We'll get there in a second. Talking more in depth about it. Cindy Lee's Diamond Jubilee remains at number. The rest of the LS I didn't really keep track of, so be warned about that. Cindy Lee, Diamond Jubilee at number 4. Ramper with Solo Postres at number 5. Ulcer Ray Cutting the Throat of God, number 6. Beth Gibbons, Lives Outgrown, number 7. Adrian Lenker, Bright Future, number 8. Vampire Weekend, Only God Was Above Us, at number 9. And JPEG Mafia, I Lay Down My Life For You, at number 10. Overall, that is your list there. Now, for the next section, we're going to go over the sort of debuts. And, of course, we already went over one, but I'm going to kind of go to the next one, which I think is this one. I'm only doing the debuts in the top 100, and actually it might be better if I show it in the chart here. And here is our first debut from Origami Angel, Feeling Not Found. This is, I think, their third album, if I checked correctly, their third album. And so far, and I reviewed it a little bit. It's not that great, but I wouldn't say it's terrible or anything. To me, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. It sort of reminds me of Hell Mode from last year, and I wasn't a great fan of that album, but this is kind of just a little bit like that album if you're into that. Reminds me a bit of Hell Mode, at least with some of the lyrics and focuses on the record. So that's what I'm going to go with there. So next up, after that album, we have, of course, the other debut is quite an obvious one. Let me just pull it up here. And, of course, now, here it is. It is, of course, Shushu's new album, which as I said, I'm just going to call it Italian Stiletto. This is a pretty great album. I forgot where exactly I had it. I do have a list somewhere on my other tab here of where I would probably rank it in all the albums I've listened to. So far, it is at number 7, below Brat, and yeah, that's really about it there. It's an 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. Definitely, it doesn't really remind me of anything else I've listened to. I'm trying to think here. There isn't a whole lot that reminds me of it. It reminds me slightly of, like, I don't know. I don't really know what this reminds me of. It's kind of weird. It's like a very weird, interesting album. It is, of course, another album from Shushu, so you might have already listened to it. It's very I mean, I'm just reading the text here. I have no freaking idea here. I barely listened. I did listen to this album in full, though. And, yeah, it's very psychedelic. I could kind of get that, but I would say noise pop was probably the better genre description for it when it was only that. But, yeah, and also, yes, obviously, I'm in the top 1,000 at the moment. Definitely will not last there, of course. But, yeah, that's basically about it for the debuts. Only 2 of them this week, although we are going to get some definitely great upcoming releases here. I'll just tell you what they are. We have, first, I'm just going to go here. We, of course, have a new album from Godspeed You Black Emperor coming out. Which is, of course, in this case, is this album, which is coming out this year. Actually, it's coming out tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 3rd. It comes out on the 4th of October. And by the next list on the 7th of October, it will be eligible for the list. So, there you go, I guess. I don't really know what else you want me to say there. But yeah, certainly it's going to be amazing right there. Anyway, after that, we have another album. This time, another album that from a band that already released an album this year. And of course, being The Smile. They, of course, already released Wall of Eyes, which I forgot to mention. I think it's now at, yeah, that's at now a little bit below number 40 at 41. Top of the second page, can't really miss it. And Cutouts is their new album here. It's already gotten some great reviews. I don't know how it's exactly going to be, but, we'll find out at some point. Already some singles I think have been released for it already. If I remember correctly, I think it's these three, I would imagine. I don't really remember which ones are for their previous album and which ones are for this one. Because honestly, it's kind of hard to tell because they've released so many albums this year. I think that last one was which one is this one? I've literally no this one no these last three are for the album. Okay, I have to check this. I'm so sorry about that. But either way, yeah. So the Smile Cutout, that's a new album, and the last one is now that you may have heard maybe something about this being Jordy Grieve of Black Midi fame's new album. That of course being the new sound, which has already gotten I think some reviews from around the world that say it's basically amazing. There was There is, of course, Awana, who I'd imagine is probably from, like, Britain or something. I'd imagine. I have no idea here. There, there's, of course, some albums. Already there's been some reviews of it. I'm not counting this. I'm not, because there's been some reviews already. It's apparently looking like a really great album, but yeah, that's about it there. Overall, I'm giving this record, oh, sorry. So that's basically about it there. I didn't have anything else really to add here. Let's see, is there anything else I have to add? Not really. Again, next episode we will have like some albums going up, some big winners and big losers of the week change, but for the moment we do not. So that is going to be about it for episode 1 of RYM Chart Breakdown. I hope you all enjoyed, and goodbye.